Have you ever used the phrase, "I'm only a day hiker," or "it's only a day hike"? Hikers have said this to me while I was backpacking, almost as a confession. But that's wrong in two distinct but important ways. In today's video, I'll cover how if you think this way, you're selling yourself short. In next week's video, I'll go over how this thinking can actually be dangerous. Consider this. Most of us older hikers wish to gain health benefits from our hikes. Single day hikes give us most of the benefits that multi-day hikes do, and avoid the biggest downsides. The longer multi-day hikes come with health consequences too, at least for many older hikers. If we put up with these consequences, it's because we enjoy the experience, but they're real. Let's look at the upsides, the benefits you may see no matter what kind of hiking you do. There's better blood pressure control. My blood pressure has improved tremendously over the past few years, much of it due to my hiking. There's increased insulin sensitivity, or looked at another way, reduced insulin resistance. Your insulin resistance is on a continuum, healthy on one end, full-blown type 2 diabetes on the other. There's improved cardiovascular capacity. It's not about the number of miles, it's about the enjoyment of those miles. As your cardiovascular capacity improves, you'll enjoy the miles more because you'll be less tired. There's better weight and appetite control. When I'm inactive, I tend to eat more, often from boredom. Hiking keeps me away from the fridge and controls food cravings. As we age, movement at the right intensity and duration for us is incredibly important for our well-being, and carefully selected hikes can work wonders for us. Now, you won't get these benefits from a single day hike, but if you consistently engage in day hiking, they'll accumulate. I day hike an average of about 5 days a week, and while my channel description advertises that I've covered 3,000 miles, that's just from the longer overnight hikes. I put in another 700 miles year after year just hiking with my dog. That's as many miles day hiking as from multi-day hikes. Day hikes offer these additional advantages compared to the multi-day hikes. You'll have a much better chance of avoiding bad weather. Now, weather prediction is not perfect, but you usually have a pretty good idea of what's coming up. You can schedule your day hikes around it. When you're on a multi-week hike, you can be sure that somewhere along the way, you'll get hit with some miserable weather. You're going to have to deal with it. You experience less stress, and you're likely to sleep better in your own bed at night, or in a hostel, or wherever you're basing your operations. Sleeping in the wilderness in a tent or hammock in a sleeping bag takes some getting used to. Recently in the High Sierra, I was faced with thin air, low temperatures, and exhausting climbs. I didn't sleep nearly as well out there as I did on the 3 nights we had in nearby towns. The climbs, the weather swings, and the altitude all contributed to temporary increase in my HSCRP, which is a measure of inflammation, and a decrease in my eGFR, which is a measure of kidney function. Those are 2 important health markers. You're less likely to get repetitive motion injuries when you're not hiking for weeks with a backpack. When you're day hiking, your pack will be much lighter. You'll be much less prone to falls and other mishaps. You'll eat better. If you have a special diet, you can follow it while backpacking, but it takes a lot of effort and planning. I've met vegans on the trail who have kept to their preferred diets, for example, but it took a lot of effort. Day hikers are less dependent on the use of dehydrated meals. You can pack whatever you want. You don't need to cook on your hike unless you want to. On multi-day hikes, I rely heavily on prepackaged meals. These and grocery store mixes like instant potatoes, ramen, and rice pilaf are what I call carbohydrate-rich, all-processed, or crap foods. From a practical standpoint, they're the easiest choice. As a day hiker, you have better control of your time and distance on the trail, depending on how you plan the trip. I'll go over suggestions for that in a future video. It's easier to combine your hike with hobbies such as photography or bird watching. You can do these things on longer trips, but that adds weight and equipment to your pack. That's less of a problem on a day hike. Now, there are some things you can't achieve on a day hike that you can on longer hikes. You can't get to most remote areas and back in a single day. If you love the camping aspect of backpacking like I do, you'll miss out on that. You may miss some views you'd like to see. Experience such as watching sunrises and sunsets or stargazing are harder to achieve. You're less likely to develop long-lasting friendships such as a tramily or trail family that many long-distance hikers find so rewarding. But it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can do both if that's your desire. Remember, the next time you catch yourself using a word like only or just or merely before the words day hiking, that you're hiking in a way that is right for you and reaping the benefits. Don't compare your miles to your neighbors or some long-distance hiker like me that you found online. The best measures are your health markers, not your miles. Track your blood pressure, your resting heart rate, your blood glucose levels, your weight, or simply how good you feel as the hikes pile up. Changes won't come at once, but for most of us, they will come. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I'm just a day hiker," add with this strong language and darn proud of it. If you appreciate this content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment on this or other topics you'd like me to cover. And if you haven't seen this video, I recommend you take a look at it now. Thanks for watching.